Well, here's my first lightsaber. Back in 1977, I went to go see a movie with my older brother called Star Wars. And during that movie, I saw a really cool weapon display that just blew my mind. It was the lightsaber. It was a scene where Obi-Wan was talking about Luke's father and showing him his old lightsaber. It was so cool to see that. I thought it was the neatest thing. Of course, after the movie, every flashlight in my house became a potential lightsaber. And I remember seeing this in my dad's toolbox. Before I went to go see Star Wars, I was aware of this light being in the house. And I did play with it a little bit, for other things. But this became the perfect lightsaber toy for me back then. Kenner didn't really have any toys for Star Wars back in '77. So we had to make our own. And this definitely qualified as a lightsaber in my eyes. This is made by Hamilton. It is U.S. patent number 2707780, as it says right here on the side, right there. And it's called the Tricolor Flashlight. So it has 3 different colors it can do. It does white. If you push this lever forward here, it'll do red. You push this lever forward, it'll do green. So you can see why this became a lightsaber pretty quick. It gave me a colored light, plus being metal and having these extra little levers and everything on here, it just looked like a lightsaber to me. Of course, on the back, we have a little clip that you can use to hang on a nail or something. Or what I used it for is I had a little clip. I would clip it to my belt, like you would see Darth Vader wear it, on his hip, like that. So, I used this for Halloween that year as well. Went as Darth Vader, of course, because they had the red light right there. Duh. But anyway, have an on-off switch, which you can put in a central position, and use this black button to flash the light. Flashlight. Deep, 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 deep. I don't have any batteries in it yet. This came from my grandfather, who worked on the Nickel Plate Road in Illinois. And he used this as a signal flashlight to communicate with the engineer. He actually moved over to Norfolk and Western when Nickel Plate was absorbed by that company. So this flashlight has quite a bit of a history. I really like this flashlight. It's been one of my favorite toys I've had, since the 70s. It also has a little focal length here. You can twist this to change the focal length, to narrow the beam or whatever. You can also get access to the light bulb inside by push this little button in right there. Then you can twist this off and you get to the inner mechanism. So right there's the light bulb. So if I push this red lever forward, you'll see the little red filter come up. And I push the green lever forward. See the green one? Too bad it wasn't blue. That would have been cool. Push them both up and you get yellow, but you can barely see it because the filter is so thick at that time. Not a lot of light can get through it. And we'll just snap it back on. Just like that. Pretty cool. So the batteries go into the bottom. It runs on 2 D batteries. Uno. Dos. Screw it back in. Okay, push the levers down there. So I can turn it on. Oh, that switch is a little intermittent. It's an old flashlight. Gotta cut it some slack for being old. Come on, flashlight. Come on. I need to clean that switch. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So you turn it on. See that? So if I push the red filter up, turns it red. That's pretty cool. Turn the green filter up. Makes it green. Of course, you push both of them up, you get like a yellow color, which you can barely see because it's just too thick of a filter. And if I put the light switch into the middle position, you can push the back button to make it flash. It is a really cool flashlight. Now, the other lightsabers I had, of course, I had one called the Force Beam that came out in the late 70s. That was cool too. It had a plastic tube that attached into the flashlight. You really could do nothing with it. If you swung it a little bit too hard, the tube would break off. It wasn't that great of a toy. And of course, Kenner finally released their inflatable lightsaber, which I had one of those. I never did really like that either. It was kind of a floppy lightsaber. You could fight balloons with it at least, but I like the hilt of that lightsaber. But this right here has always been my go-to toy. It's not actually a toy, it's a flashlight, but my go-to flashlight to use as a lightsaber. And of course, you know, after Star Wars came out, anytime you'd have like a foggy evening, or there was a lot of smoke hanging in the air, like maybe for 4th of July or something like that, the flashlights would come out and lightsaber battles would ensue. Me and my older brothers do that quite a bit. A lot of great memories tied to this flashlight. It's still really cool. To this day, I think it's one of the coolest flashlights I've ever seen. But anyway, I'm getting ready to record an episode of the Toy Tune podcast. It'll be episode 41, talking about Star Wars when I first saw it, and some of my toys I had back in the day. Mainly it's going to be just Star Wars, the original movie, not Empire Strikes Back or anything like that. I may do another episode where I talk about the Empire Strikes Back. But initially I'm going to talk about the original Star Wars movie when I first saw it, and some of the toys I had from back then. So it's going to be a really fun episode to do. I plan on recording it here very, very soon. Anyway, do you guys have any memories of your first lightsaber toy you ever got? If you did, share them down below. It'll be interesting to hear about them. Anyway, as always, everyone, thanks for watching.